Hey, welcome back to the garage. It's been a while since we've chatted. We're just wrapping up our Ride Around the State series. I put out video 9 this morning, so we've got one video left, the grand finale. I'm very excited to sort of finish that series out, get it behind me, and start moving on to some new ideas and material. I am 8 weeks post ankle injury since the accident out there in South Dakota. And I had my final consult yesterday with the orthopedic doctor. The good news is we're at sort of 90% now. I was given the clear to run. I can basically go back to my normal life. The slightly bad news, without sounding overly melodramatic, is that my ankle's never going to be the same. And this is an entirely new ankle that I don't really know how it's going to react to my normal wear and tear. So I may not be able to run the same amount of mileage I ran before. I may not be able to do exactly the same things. It may respond a little bit differently to some turns and technical trails and things like that. I also did learn that while the break has healed just as it should, I did in fact do some minor tearing to at least one of both a ligament and a tendon on the right side, the outside of my ankle, that they're both healing, but they'll never quite heal fully on their own without a surgical repair. So the doctor basically said, take as long as you want. You can go 15 years if you want, but if you actually want to repair your ankle to 100%, you will have to have some surgery at some point. So that's the kind of crummy news. It doesn't sound like it's anything urgent that I need to deal with though. And thankfully, it's not painful anymore. I've got a little bit of stiffness, but no pain. So the 800, we're here with the Chariot, the bike that got me around the entire country. I've spoken about my experience with this bike. It worked magnificently. I was able to complete the ride as planned. I certainly had my share of challenges, but everything that I wanted and that I asked out of this bike, she delivered, and I was able to get home relatively safely as planned. Now, I've still been thinking a lot about what my plan moving forward is going to be. I'll be honest with all of you that most of these 3 bikes in my garage have been sitting here for the last month and a half, really without any movement at all. I did finally take the 450 out yesterday for its first ride in a long time. I haven't taken the CRF out in probably 4 or 5 months. And then of course I haven't ridden a single mile on the 800 since I parked it here after getting home. I want to take this bike out here now that my foot is all healed up and just kind of have a little reminisce of my ride. You know, I haven't felt this bike move underneath me since I've gotten back, and I think it'll be really fun to just take a ride down the road and feel those memories come back and remember just how much time I spent sitting in this saddle on this bike. Couple of quick updates to share with you all. The semester is starting here next week, so a lot of stuff is spinning up very quickly. The good news is that I'm essentially on sabbatical. I say essentially because there's a little nuance there. I do have to still deal with some administrative things related to my position, but I won't have to teach my primary class. And starting late September, I'll be moving up to Seattle for a little bit and exploring up there. I still don't know what bike I'm going to take yet. Probably the 450. I still haven't made a final decision on what bike I'm going to sell. I keep kind of going back and forth, and so I really need to kind of get out on the bikes and spend some time on all of them to think about what makes the most sense right now. What I can tell you is I've got a little bit of an issue on the 450. My first problem, my first real issue has come up on the 450. In the year and a half I've owned it, it's been completely flawless. And I've got a problem. The rear brake has essentially gone out on me. Not sure what the story there is, if it's a seal that broke, but I know this is a known issue with the 450. There is a bulletin that's been put out by CFMoto on how to fix this potential issue, and the good news is the bike is still under warranty. So I'm taking it in this weekend, and they're gonna fix my rear brake, ostensibly, we hope. Along with that, I am going to have my 2 new tires put on the 450 while I'm down there, just because, why not? Might as well. I've had them sitting in the garage here for a really long time and figured now's as good a time as any with almost 6,000 miles on the bike to put the new chunkier tires on the Ibex. I did put a Carpy ride on it as well, which you can see right here. I tested that out. It's the smaller 5-inch model, which I think is kind of the ideal size for this bike. You know, I got spoiled on the 800, and I've got to say, I do love it. But anyway, that's the update. Mostly I just wanted to let you all know that I'm healing up well. I've been given the all clear to start activity again, start running. Haven't decided if I'm going to do my planned races this fall. It's really hard to say right now because I'm very out of shape. I've put on some weight. I'm out of shape. I haven't run in quite some time. And so I need to kind of build my fitness back up before I decide if I'm in shape enough to run some ultras this fall. So that's kind of what is next on my plate, is to sort of spin my running back up, get back to my roots, get back to my on 2 feet mantra, and get some miles under my feet, my new ankle, see how it responds, kind of get used to this new body part that I'm not used to. We'll take this bike out here in the next couple of days and go through that sort of reflection process, which I'm really looking forward to. I think as soon as I get on this bike and I fire it up and I start heading down the road, it's going to be like a wave of memories all come flooding back. At any rate, that's all I got for you. Look for that final 10th video in the Rat series. I should be posting that sometime next week, and that will end out our series. I'm really excited to share the end of that story. All right, well, take care, everyone. I appreciate all of you, I really do, and I look forward to exploring some new trails and adventures this fall. See you later.